Good morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, also known as TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred to date in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the smart device application Today in History, What Happened Today in History, Historical Calendar, and the website onthisday.com. For links to those sources, the music done by Carrera, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar of the description below. Anyway, I am Xander, and today I am joined by...
Protoblob.
Yep. And we have...
Brent Slayer.
Yep. And we also have... Sorry, I saw you were muted. Anyway, in the live studio audience, we have Adolf Tiddler. Yeah, I might have to change that name again. Anyway... Anyway, today is Woden's Day, also known as Odin's Day, also known as Wednesday, December 7th, 2022. Oh, I know what we're going to be talking about today. So, yeah. Anyway, Mr. Slayer, do you want to start us off in 43 BC?
Yes! In 43 BC, Marcus Tullius Cicero, Roman orator and politician, is assassinated in Formulae.
Dang. Not Cicero.
Historic event. In 1727, physician Sir Hans Soane becomes president of the Royal Society, succeeding Sir Isaac Newton.
Dang. That's some pretty big shoes to fill right there.
Nice. In 1787, Delaware is the first state to ratify the U.S. Constitution.
Dang.
Hell yeah.
About 200 years before I was born. Huh. Alright. Well, let's get into this scientific discovery. Mr. Blob.
Alright. In 1804, naturally... I start again. Naturalist Alexander von Humboldt reports his discovery of the decrease in intensity of Earth's magnetic field from the poles to the equator in Memoir to the Paris Institute.
Ah, that's a big discovery right there.
Yeah, so that's essentially the pole shift, or
no.
Is there another cause?
No. It's not about polarity shift. It's about figuring out the electromagnetic bubble we have around the planet. You know, learning that it's thinner around the poles, and that's what eventually led to the discovery of the polarity shift and everything.
Yeah, but he discovered the decrease, so they knew it before how big it was, and then he discovered that the magnetic field is not static, but it changes over time.
Yes.
That's okay. Right. And 4 years later, in 1808, we have the election. James Madison is elected as the 4th U.S. president, and George Clinton as the vice president.
Didn't we talk about that yesterday? Or I guess they were sworn in. I don't know.
I thought we talked about George Clinton yesterday.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have in 1836, Martin Van Buren was elected the 8th president of the United States.
Ah, yeah, Van Buren. All right. That's
so
cool...
the Fallout video games used to be named after U.S. presidents, the working titles, and the Fallout 3 working title was Van Buren, but then that game was completely scrapped and another game became Fallout 3.
Huh. Well, I did not know that. Alright. We're going to move on up here to 1842, the New York Philharmonic's first concert. That's interesting. New York Philharmonic is, of course, worldwide famous, so this was their very first concert. So, yeah. Then we got a historic event here in 1868. Jesse James' gang robbed bank in Gallatin, Missouri, killing one. And then we also have, in 1877, Thomas Edison demonstrated the phonograph he stole, the gramophone, to the editors of Scientific American. Yep, once a thief, always a thief. So,
Yes.
And then, speaking about an actual inventor, Mr. Rhombus, it's your turn.
Historic invention, 1909. Inventor Leo Bakeland. Bakeland. Bakeland.
Bakeland.
Bakeland.
Bakeland.
That is the first thermosetting plastic bakelite, sparking the birth of plastics industry.
Oh, wow. So this is the guy. Like, thank you for plastics, you know? Like, plastics are in everything. Yeah, like, you know.
Did you just... Wait a minute, did you just say kiddo?
I love his...
Bro just went... Bro said, it sounded to be like... He went Leo Kiddo.
No, I said Leo Bakeland.
Bakeland.
Like he bakes loaf of bread in the shape of like countries. So
No, I force feed people. I force feed land weed. I bake
oh my goodness.
against their will.
He's the guy from Baking Bread. Or
Baking
maybe
Bread.
It's not Breaking Bad anymore. It's baking bread.
Baking bread, baking a bread mace with a big fist and rubbing the water.
I mean, all you gotta do is replace. All you gotta do is replace the R, E, and A, and then switch it with the A and bad.
Huh. Yeah.
Alrighty. In 1916, David Lloyd George replaces resigning H.H. Asquith as British Prime Minister.
All right.
And for anybody wondering, yes, I just said Lloyd. Why? Because in Spain, in Spanish language, it is correct.
Yes, you are correct.
I corrected. I said it properly. I just said it in a different language. I just used a language that my one aunt uses, who I'm actually technically related to through blood because because her and my uncle had child about a few years ago.
Huh.
It's a little white and Spanish kid. Both. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Pretty neat little combination.
Yeah.
Hey. I feel like I'm stalling, but anywho, in 1917, the USA's 42nd Rainbow Division arrives in France with Colonel Douglas MacArthur among its ranks.
Yeah, MacArthur. Big name.
Yeah, Colonel Douglas MacArthur.
But hey, that's what a interesting coincidence right there, because you have another 1917, if you don't mind reading the one right after that.
In 1917, the U.S. becomes 13th country to declare war on Austria during World War I.
Yep. So yeah, what a coincidence. The Rainbow Division lands, and we just so happen to declare war. It's like, oh hey, we just, what a coincidence. We have troops there to enter combat on the very day that we declare war on you. What a coinkydink, you know?
Yeah.
Well, what a strange coincidence.
I know, right? Odd. Almost as if it was planned.
And that, what a conveniently planned and very well planned, mind you. Very well planned out plan.
Yep.
Gotta give him credit. It worked.
Yep.
Like it worked very well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Hey, it was America steamrolling at Germany, part 1 of 2.
Well, anyway, speaking of Germany, we have a German here to take 1925 here.
So you don't want to hear about the German election in 1924?
Oh, go for it.
The Social
Democrats
won and the Nazis and the Communists lost, but as you know, in the following years that changed.
Oh, heavens!
So in 1925, Noel Coward's Easy Virtue premieres in New York City. That's music history, but it sounds like that's some play that he wrote.
Yeah. maybe it's music. I don't know. Because he's a playwright, a director, and a singer. So maybe it was a play though. Actually, hold on a second. Easy Virtue, Howard. Easy Virtue, Noah. Let's see here. It is a play. It's a 3-act play.
And I see he had many plays that premiered in London and New York City.
Oh yeah, no, like he has a lot of articles here, like quite a bit. Not as many as that one Russian guy, but still, we've spoken about this guy quite often recently, actually.
You mean Two-Face?
No, Siskokovich or whatever his name is.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I know who you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, see, my point exactly. I didn't even say his name right, and you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how well known he is. He's just so well known that you just don't even need to say his name right, and you know who it is. Like, it's really not that hard to figure out who the guy is. It's like, yeah. He did quite a bit. Mm-hmm. He's done quite a few things, to say the least.
Yep.
And I think I'll take the 2 PGA championships because they are essentially related. And in 1929, the PGA Championship main golf in Hillcrest CC, defending champion Leo Vivo defeats Johnny Farrell 6-4 in the final. And in 1930, the PGA Championship men's golf Fresh Meadows CC, American-based Scotsman Tommy Armour defeats Gene Saracen 1-up in the final for the second of his 3 major titles.
Dang, nice.
Okay, so on to the next one.
Yeah. I'm actually going to take us back a little bit to 1926 here. The gas refrigerator was patented. So that's interesting.
Yes!
Refrigeration technology. It's not that
Tom
old.
and Duffy.
It's only like 100 some odd years old. It's a fairly recent technology when you look at the grand scheme of things, you know?
Oh, actually, it's
not even 100 years
like,
old.
I think it's like 150 years old, but before that it was done differently.
But just think about it. A technology that's so new, like it's such a young technology, and yet we got it so advanced already.
Actually, Blob is more right. The first working vapor compression refrigeration system was built in 1834.
Ooh.
Wow.
Oh, that's older than I thought.
Yeah, the first commercial ice making machine was invented in 1854. In 1913, refrigerators for home use were invented, and in 1923, Frigidaire introduced the first self-contained unit. So wow, it's more like 170 years, somewhere in there. It's actually, no, we're almost 200. Like,
yeah.
In like another decade here, we'll be close to 200 years. Wow, that's incredible.
I just thought about it. I wonder how those newer countries feel to know the fact that they are younger than refrigerators.
Oh my god,
that has to be a tough swallow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like,
very.
Pakistan is only like what, 30 years old, 40. I'm older than I'm around the same age as Pakistan. So.
Yeah. And modern Germany.
What new countries were made in the 2000s?
Actually, I was wrong. Pakistan was founded in 1947, but still, it's still a fairly new country. So.
Modern Germany essentially was founded in 1848, I think, and then the current country in 1949.
I know it didn't become like an organized country until when you said about the where it didn't become like a somewhat organized country until the 1840s, because they were still, up to that point, still known as the Hessians.
I mean, like, you know, there's a lot of history with Germany. Like, Germany, like, they were fractured and stuff during, like, the Roman era, but they did kind of unify to fight against the Romans. You know, Germania and all that stuff. So...
Yeah.
And then, they were the Prussians during the Napoleonic Wars and all that stuff. The Prussians, not the Russians, like Russia but with a P. So.
Yeah, no, they were. I don't even know. I don't even think Prussia's around anymore.
No.
That country's good.
No. Prussia became Germany, I believe. Right?
Oh, yeah? Huh.
Yeah. No, Prussia was Germany. Like, that's who they were back in that time.
So they went from Frankfurt to Deutschland.
It was essentially the North German Confederation was founded in 1866.
All right. Anyway, I'm going to move us on up here to 1931. We got some sports history. After scoring 226 in first test in Brisbane, Don Bradman belted 219 for New South Wales against the visiting South Africa at the Sydney Cricket Ground. All right. We got a scientific discovery here. In 1934, Wiley Post discovered the jet stream. So yeah, so like like all the winds going around the Earth and all that stuff, like utilizing jet streams for air travel and whatnot.
Yeah, the winds of the stratosphere.
Yes. And then we have 1937 here for Mr. Rhombus.
In 1937, Red Sox acquire the contract of 19-year-old Ted Williams.
Huh. All right.
Got in there pretty young.
Yeah.
Started making.
That's about your age, right, Rhombus? Yeah,
that's old.
I know we've talked about this before, but maybe you should get into some college football.
Yeah.
I'm gonna annoy you about that, dude. I really want you to do that because you'd be good.
Well, reason being, because I want to take a gap year so I can have time to prep for it. Because if I would have went for it right out of the gate, like right away after school, it wouldn't have went well. Like I would have had to redshirt the first year.
Huh. Oh, all right.
Which is no big deal. I'm okay with that. If I have to go 5 years,
yeah,
I'm cool with that.
Anyway, you have another one here.
Alrighty. In 1939, Lou Gehrig, 36, is elected to baseball's Hall of Fame.
Oh, cool.
For anybody, he ended up getting a disease that they named after him, and they call it Lou Gehrig's disease.
Yep.
Which is basically what the disease does. It's basically what happens when you stop eating altogether. Is your whole body just starts shutting down.
That's not good.
But it's over a significantly longer span of time, because you could live up to over a year. You could live up to like a year or so. You'd just be sitting there. You'd be sitting there suffering.
Yeah.
That's really very bad.
That's frightening.
It's a horrible disease. It's horrible. I feel bad for. I wouldn't wish that disease on anybody. No matter who it was.
I wouldn't wish the disease that shares my initials on anyone either.
And it's just the actual thing is it's called ALS.
Yeah.
That's the actual name of the disease.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't wish that even on the worst of enemies.
So,
yeah, but you got sorry, what, Bob?
I thought he wanted to tell us what happened at 7:48 a.m. of local time in 1941.
Ah, yes. Here we go.
Yeah, in 1941, Imperial Japanese Navy with 353 planes attacked the U.S. fleet at Pearl Harbor Naval Base in Hawaii, killing 2,403 people.
Yep. You know what? Hold on a second. Let's see if I can find it. December 7th speech.
Everybody sucks.
Yeah.
They said revenge is a fool's errand, but that is what we did to Japan was fucking vengeance. That was just pure vengeance.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
especially how we annihilated two of their biggest cities, killed thousands.
Yes.
Maybe millions.
It's like Japan's like, oh, we're gonna bomb your harbor. It's like, what that? We can't hear you over the sound of melting city. Well,
can't hear you over the sound of nukes and people getting vaporized,
turning into shadows. So
You know what's funny? You know there was a story.
Hey,
There was a guy
never
back-
forget, they started it, okay? They fucking started it.
yeah, they did. So
I
Yeah,
remember
and
there was a documentary of this guy that survived a nuke. He got fucking hit with it. Like he got hit with the shockwave, but he somehow survived it.
then went to Nagasaki.
yeah,
And
That impressed
Yeah.
me. I don't know how he survived, but he did.
yeah.
And they were interviewing the guy when it happened. Like he was sitting like on a hill outside of, I think it was Hiroshima, and the bomb goes off, and he sees the explosion. I mean, he doesn't look directly at it because, no, he did. So he had vision problems because you can actually go blind from looking at it.
Yeah, you're talking about the guy who worked in Hiroshima, and then that got bombed, and then he took a train, and it took him a week to get back to where he lived, which was Nagasaki, and then that got bombed.
Yeah.
Could you imagine being that guy? It's like, bro, is this my curse? Like, what's going on? Like, that would have been such a, oh my
Yeah.
god, I can't imagine, you know?
supposedly
That guy, like, a second bomb. He actually got hit by the second bomb.
supposedly that was bombed while he told his family about what happened in in Hiroshima.
When he got blown backwards by the shockwave, he was lucky enough to not hit anything when he did.
Dude, I'm just imagining, if he was telling his family, he's like, you would never believe what just happened in Hiroshima. He's like, oh, what a coincidence. Look at that. That's what happened. Holy shit.
They're just like, you see that? That's exactly what happened. That bomb.
Wait a minute.
Big mushroom. A giant mushroom.
A giant
That would be
mushroom.
quite real.
Oh, shit, Taki. So,
Just think, if we would have nuked Tokyo, we wouldn't have shows like Dragon Ball here today.
yeah.
If we would have bombed Tokyo, we would have killed Akira Toriyama's father. We would have actually bombed I think it may have actually been him. He'd actually got caught in the explosion.
I don't know, man. A world without anime seems like a better world, in my opinion. But,
But there are some shows that it would be hard to live without them.
Yeah.
It would be tough to live without Dragon Ball. They really would.
Yeah. Anyway,
And
Mr. Blob, I believe it's your turn, 1949?
The attack on Pearl Harbor was not the only bad thing that happened on the day in 1941.
All right.
The Nacht- und Nebel-Erlass by Hitler was, how do you say, it was written down and ordered, and that sent resistance fighters to concentration camps. And after the war, in the Nuremberg trials and the trial against the Oberkommando of the Wehrmacht, it was one of the points that was brought up. So around 7,000 people were sent to the concentration camps, and in secret trials were kept there without telling the relatives.
Well, that's not cool.
So it was deemed a war crime and crime against humanity after the war.
It definitely was. Well,
In 1949, I cannot speak that. It's probably something
Chiang
like
Kai-shek.
Chiang Kai-shek, yes. Chinese military and political leader, he flees to Taiwan, to the real China, essentially.
Yes, he was the actual, the real China, the leader of the real China. I see we have been joined by Drugs Joe, aka DJ Float, in the housey house. So, welcome to the show, good sir.
Thank you.
And in 1953, Israel's Prime Minister David Ben-Gurion retires. He was the first Prime Minister of Israel, and I think together with Golda Meir, he founded the country.
Mm-hmm. Of course, on Palestinian land, but, that's a conversation for another time. Yeah.
Well, actually, it was the British protectorate of Palestine, and so there's a long history before that, and that's where the conflict between Israel and Palestine stems from.
Yeah.
Honestly, I kind of feel bad for some of the people that have had to deal with Israel, because that place is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Not as bad as Afghanistan, but it's pretty bad there.
Well,
like especially in Yemen. I don't know if that's in Israel, but Yemen's like really, really bad.
Yemen is in Africa.
Yeah.
Yemen is somewhere else. Like
what? Fuck. What's the city in Israel that's like
Gaza?
really bad? That's the place.
Yeah, the Gaza Strip. That's extreme.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Those. Well, because when you hear Yemen, you usually think it's around the area of Israel. It sounds like something would be there. Yeah. No. I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's all right. But Yemen is actually next to the Arabian Peninsula. Yeah, it's actually just next to Saudi Arabia. There's Yemen, there's Oman, there's Saudi Arabia up there, Eritrea, Djibouti, and I believe this is Ethiopia down here. I'm not sure. So.
Yeah. I thought Yemen was just a city.
No. No, it's not. But I understand where you're coming from. It sounds like a Yiddish word or something.
Yeah.
So,
it doesn't sound like an actual country.
Yeah.
Had my dumb ass moment for the day, but yeah.
Anyway, Blob, you have one more, right?
Oh, I think I did 3.
All right, then I'll take this. 1956, Soviet artistic gymnast Larisa Latianina took her gold medal to Italy, took her gold medal tally to 4 at the Melbourne Olympics, wins teams and individual all-around titles, having earlier won vault and floor exercise sections. Dang.
We talk about Latianina also a lot, and I also butchered that name, the last part of it.
Yeah, I remember we were talking about Russian gymnasts or Soviet gymnasts being really really good in their craft, and that's because their coaches beat them. Like they were starved, they were beaten, they were threatened with gulag. Like you better stick to landing or gulag. Like so. But then we're going to move on up to 1964. George Harrison changed his company's name from Morn York to Harry Songs. Okay. And then,
very hairy.
Yeah. And 1 year later, 1965, Pope Paul VI and Orthodox Patriarch Athenagoras I simultaneously lifted mutual excommunications that led to split of 2 churches in 1054. So almost, like 911 years. So nearly 1,000 years. Wow.
I don't want to say it was a bit late, but Mr. Athenagoras I probably didn't care anymore at that point.
Probably. So, but yeah, we've got a music recording here for Brendoom Fraser.
Music recording in 1967. Otis Redding records this song. Records this song. Records, yeah. Record right there.
The English language can be confusing, even to native speakers.
Yes.
The record of the world. Want to see my record of the world? In 1967, Otis Redding records his song, Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, co-written and produced by Guitars Steve Cropper at Stack Studios in Memphis, Tennessee.
That's a good song. Sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tides roll away. It's a good doo-wop song.
Oh, yeah.
I would think actually the word record comes from people only writing down the most important achievements in sports then, and that's probably where world record and such terms came from.
Where does the word record come from? That's a good question. So, Middle English, from Old French, record, remembrance, from recorder, bring to remembrance, from Latin, recordare, remember, based on core, chord, heart. The noun was earliest used in law to denote the fact of being written down as evidence, as Blob was saying. Good call right there. The verb originally meant narrate orally or in writing, also repeat so as to commit to memory. Interesting. So it comes from Latin to French to English. Huh. Language is amazing. You know? When you really look at the evolution of language and everything, I mean, like, you know, the English language is just a bastard child of, like, 75 different cultures. You know? Anglo-Saxon and all that stuff. So...
And now it's most commonly used.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it is the most used language in the world.
It is.
Because it's the international language nowadays.
Well, that's only because the U.S. dollar reigns supreme, you know? Like, money talks, and money speaks English right now. So
probably surpassed Chinese by now.
Yeah, well, Chinese is right up on the heels. So
we come to a very, very beautiful photo now, Mr. Brandon.
Oh, yeah.
In 1972, Apollo launched the final manned lunar landing mission.
Do you have bread in your mouth or something?
Hang on, I had toothpaste. I didn't realize it was gonna refrain me from talking normally. Okay, let me say it again. In 1972, Apollo launched the final manned lunar landing mission, where the crew takes the famous blue marble photo of the entire Earth.
Yep, and it's right here, as we can see. Apollo 17, the last official Apollo landing, but if anybody's seen the movie Apollo 18, you know, that makes one think, you know? So,
yeah, there is this conspiracy theory, but I don't think it's true.
Yeah, there's a lot of conspiracy theories out there. But anyway, you got another historic event here in 1972 as well.
Alrighty. In 1972, Philippines First Lady Imelda Marcos stabbed and wounded by an assailant.
Dang. Someone tried to assassinate her. Huh.
Yeah, she was the first lady of the Philippines since 1964 when her husband was elected. And in an attempt to hold on to power, martial law was declared in 1972. So probably that was why she was stabbed.
Huh.
Possibly.
Maybe.
Good chance.
But, going from stabbing to music stuff, Mr. Blob, it's your turn.
Okay, we have the Apple Records release of the Paul McCartney and Wings album Band on the Run in the United Kingdom. The commercial and critical pinnacle of his post-Beatle work tops the charts in 7 countries.
Dang, nice.
So I only know Mal of Kintyre and such songs. I don't know if that's on that album.
I don't know much, Beatles stuff myself.
Our listeners can probably find the album on YouTube.
Yeah.
Sports history in 1975. Romanian tennis star Ilie Nastase wins his 4th season-ending ATP Masters Grand Prix title with a 6-2, 6-2, 6-1 rout of Björn Borg of Sweden in Stockholm.
Dang, Björn Borg, I don't know much about tennis, but from what I hear, Björn Borg was one of the greatest players of all time. So.
And he was beaten on his home soil, apparently.
Oh, man! That's a heartbreak right there.
Hey, I just thought about it.
Yeah?
I know a lot of people deny it. I will say Serena Williams is probably one of the greatest female tennis players to ever exist. To ever breathe air.
Oh, definitely.
She's extremely talented.
Yeah.
And it shows. Like even in her bad years, she's still good. Like she's still performing really well.
Yep.
So Actually, Björn Borg indeed was born in Stockholm in Sweden.
Ah,
And in 2006, he got a Lifetime Achievement Award for his tennis.
good. That took too long, but good.
Yeah.
Okay, and in 1976, the United Nations Security Council endorses Kurt Waldheim Secretary General for a second 5-year term.
All right. That was that was your 3 right there. All right. We got an NHL record here, 1978. Islanders Mike Bossy's first career hat trick. Okay.
In
And-
ice hockey.
Ooh,
Yes.
1979, Star Trek The Motion Picture, the first movie of the series premiered, directed by Robert Wise, starring William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy. Yes.
And that's another movie series where Borg is defeated.
Yep. And,
I'll say, because there were... Huh?
what?
I was say, because I know there's 2 main guys that were played as Captain Kirk. It was Shatner and Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart did not play Captain Kirk. He played Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I wasn't told that. All right. And
He looks nothing like Captain Kirk.
oh, what?
So the first
That's gay.
the first Star Trek movie was the one with the V'ger, which we don't want to spoil the movie. I think.
Yeah,
Even
spoil
though
it
it's been
anyway.
out for 50 years, but okay.
Might as well spoil it since most of the Gen Z, including me, has not watched it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
So-
I have the interest.
So that was essentially the Voyager probe, which became self-aware or something. I don't remember the plot, but
I'm gonna have to see this. There's a lot of stuff I gotta see. I keep saying this. Like, it's no secret that I'm extremely culturally illiterate. So, I'm gonna take us up to 1980. Pardon me. PGA Seniors Championship Men's Golf at Turnberry Isle Country Club. Arnold Palmer won with a birdie on the first playoff hole against Paul Harney. Alright. Then going back to Rhombusser, unless he's brushing his teeth or doing something weird. Always doing something weird.
In 1984, Alan Borders' first Test cricket match as captain. VWI Adelaide.
Yeah, WI, I don't know. WI, hold on a second. WI, Australia. West Indies. So, yeah, the West Indies and Adelaide. Obviously, like, India, cricket. So, yeah. Anyway.
I swear, cricket is the most confusing sport.
It really is. Like,
Like-
it's like, oh, he got a run, he got a century, he got a wicket, cricket, nicket, picket, like, what the hell are they even saying?
Yeah, and the stupid thing is that they can take days to complete one match. I was
That's-
like, what the fuck? Shouldn't there just be a regulation?
Yeah, that's...
Like, this is why they add regulation to sports.
Yeah.
Cricket is the only sport that makes me actually feel I've had a stroke. So...
Well, your sport isn't that great when cricket noises are used to, denote that nothing is happening.
Yep.
And the thing is, like, the NFL even cracked down on that, like, right away when they made the sport. They didn't want that shit happening.
Yeah.
Like, they were adamant on their 4 quarters and only being depending on what league it is, a certain amount of time. Like, for high school, for varsity, it's 12-minute quarters. Your overtime's still 10 minutes. And college and pro. What's up, Mom?
Hello, Mom.
Hello, Miss.
Anywho, yeah, NCAA and NFL are 15 minutes. And then
NCAA.
overtime's also. NCAA, yeah, college. It's the National College, you said. Yes, National College Athletics.
Oh, for a second I thought you were saying NAACP. I'm just like, what? My brain went weird. But speaking of football, you got one here in 1985.
In 1985, 51st Heisman Trophy Award, Bo Jackson from Auburn. He played for a team that I absolutely despise.
RB is what, a running back?
Yeah, he's a running back, yes.
They
were like, oh, he could have been the greatest of all time.
What's the team he played on?
He played for what at the time was the Oakland Faders, or the Oakland Raiders.
The Faders.
Yeah, they're actually the Oakland Raiders, but I call them the Faders because they're just an absolute laughing stock of an organization.
Bro, I saw another Raiders fan in the wild the other day, actually. I was driving, there was this pickup truck with like a big old Raiders sticker on the back window. And, of course, the guy stepped out of the car, he looked like another gangbanger. So, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they are. Pretty much every Raiders fan ever.
Yep. Anyway, Mr. Blob, it's your turn, 1985.
Yes, we have another sports. Australian Open Women's Tennis. Martina Navratilova beats Chris Evert-Lloyd 6-2, 4-6, 6-2 for her third and final Australian singles crown.
Crikey.
That's what you always say.
Maybe I can talk about, putting shrimp on the barbie, going, blooming an onion, So.
And in 1986, President Jean-Claude Duvalier flees Haiti. And of course, he was not only president, but also dictator.
Yep. That picture, though, makes him look like Gus from Breaking Bad. Like, the angle and the lighting, it makes him kind of looks like Gus Fring.
Yeah, he made millions from his involvement in the drug trade and even sold body parts from dead Haitians. What am I reading?
Yeah, I don't know. What are you reading?
Well, the page on the website when
I see. Huh. Wow. How very yeah, I'm not even gonna say what's going through my mind, but reminds me of something happening right now, out to the east a bit. So, yeah.
Yeah, I can't even, and that's why I go to the next entry, which is not marked. 43 die in 1987 in a Pacific Southwest airline crash in California when a man shot the pilot.
Oh, no. Oh, man, that's a tragedy. That really sucks. Like, man, I can't imagine being on that plane. Like, what do you do? You know you're gonna die, so you just sit there and wait? Oh, man.
So that was flight 1771 from Los Angeles to San Francisco. And the two pilots, 5 people aboard, including the 2 pilots, were presumably shot dead before the plane crashed. The perpetrator, David Burke, was a former disgruntled employee of US Air, which was the parent company of Pacific Southwest Airlines.
Jeez.
So it was a mass murder by a disgruntled employee.
Well, this is why people have got to start treating their employees with actual dignity and respect. What a concept, Like, we are not cogs in a machine. We are humans, So...
Yeah. And he was a suspect for a drug smuggling ring before. That's we'll put a link to that in the...
Alright. Remind me, because my other monitor is frozen, I'm going to have to restart the computer after the show, so remind me to post those links in the underbar afterwards. So...
All right.
I'm going to take us up into more 1987. Gorbachev arrived in the U.S. for a summit meeting. All right.
I think with President Ronald Reagan.
Yes, Ronald Reagan. So, yeah, that would make sense. But then in 1987 as well, the Palestinian uprising against Israel in West Bank. So we were talking about Israel and, you know, the Gaza Strip and Palestine and stuff earlier, and yeah, here's more of that conflict going on. But then moving on up into 1988, we have a contract of interest. Major League Baseball Texas Rangers signed free agent pitcher Nolan Ryan to a 1-year contract. So free agent being he is not like associated to any team. He's kind of like just in there for anybody to grab, and yeah, the Texas Rangers got him. So, you know, really, really good pitcher from what I've heard.
Well, he certainly pitched his own contract very well.
Yep. I mean, you know, look at his hat. Even his hat is like go. You know, like I don't know. Anyway, Mr. Doom Guy, if you're there, 1988. Although I see he's muted. And giving him a couple seconds. All right, I think he's AFK. So let's go back to Blob here, 1988 sports history.
I will start with what is above because we just talked about Gorbachev in '87, and in '80, Gorbachev announced the 10% unilateral Soviet troop reductions at the United States, and at the same day also was cheered by Wall Street crowds upon arrival in New York City.
Well, all right. Gorbachev. And he, like, appears behind me. He's like, what do you want, comrade? I'm like, oh, God! He's like Beetlejuice.
Yeah, and we have another big thing that was not marked in the...
Ooh.
A 6.9 earthquake in Spitak, Armenia, kills 25,000 to 50,000 people and leaves up to 500,000 homeless.
Good Lord.
I would think that's a major event.
That is a big event. That's a big earthquake right there. You know, like I think that's when liquefaction starts, when the actual ground just turns to liquid because it can't hold itself. So, earthquakes are scary. Oh. And then also 1988, we got you got one more, right?
Well, if you counted Gorbachev thing as one, then yes.
All right.
In 1988, the NHL New York Islanders fire head coach Terry Simpson and replace him with former coach Al Arbor.
All right. And why don't you take this next 88 just to round us off here?
Okay, and we close 1988. We were talking about the Israel-Palestine conflict, and here we are again with PLO delegation led by Yasser Arafat. He proclaims the state of Palestine, recognizing the state of Israel's existence for the first time.
Well, dang.
So, essentially, he said there are two states.
All right. And I'm thinking about, I'm going to start a new rule for, or maybe a semi-rule for the split. I'm going to do the split right now because we are at 48 minutes and we're getting into the 90s. So instead of the 2000s, I'm going to bump it back down to the 90s. So we have 30 years instead of 20 of history to talk about to fill up section 2. So here we go.
90s.
Yes, we are running in the 90s. In 1990, Iraqi parliament endorsed Saddam Hussein's decision to free hostages. Good. I fully support that. And at the same time, in 1990 as well, Ted Turner and Jane Fonda announced their engagement. Why do we care? Like, why is that highlighted? Why is that even an article? Who cares about this engagement? Why do we care? So,
wasn't Ted Turner that mogul of the TV companies?
Yeah, I mean, like, I know Ted Turner, you know, what he's done and everything, but why does anybody give a flying F about, you know, his engagement? Yeah. You know? Like, seriously. So, but then, let's see here, 1992, the Galileo spacecraft passed the North Pole of the Moon, Peary Crater. All right, yeah, that's right. The Galileo spacecraft that we sent to Jupiter, I believe, to go check out things. Am I right? Because remember the other day we saw that video about how we might have accidentally started a chain reaction that will cause Jupiter to explode.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's frightening. And, well, I don't think we need to talk about this guy's prostate surgery, so let's just move on up to 1994, Mr. Blob.
Well, but it was singer Robert Goulet. So
I mean, if you want, go for it.
In 1994, 5th Billboard Music Awards, Ace of Base and Mariah Carey win.
Ah.
If I remember correctly, Ace of Base was that group that was supposedly very. Let me just check that.
I've heard of him, but I don't know anything about him.
Yeah, it's that group. So.
What group?
Yeah, Ace of Base. It's the group I thought about.
Pop group?
There is this conspiracy theory that they are actually extremistic, and their songs represented.
Huh. Well, I'm gonna have to look into that.
So, also in the same year, in 1994, radio personality Howard Stern talks a man out of attempting suicide.
Good.
So, what was that on his show? I guess.
I don't know. I don't think he was on his show. I think he was just at a bridge or something and talked somebody down. Howard Stern, not a good guy today, but at least back then he was. But from what I hear, he just has followed in line with all the other people, the Hollywood elites and everything. So, but at least back in 1994, he was a good guy,
Yeah.
Oh.
And, we have another very sad part of music history.
Yeah.
In 1995, American rock band The Grateful Dead break up after the death of Jerry Garcia.
Ah, man. Actually, when did Jerry Garcia die? August 9th, so... Yeah,
I don't know if...
It took several months, but yeah.
I don't know if you talked about that recently, or...
Well, we spoke about his death, certainly, on August 9th, I believe. I think maybe Alice was here, or somebody talked about him for a little bit.
I think I talked to someone about... I overheard a conversation about the death of Jerry Garcia.
Probably on here, probably somewhere else. I don't know.
So it's your turn.
Yep. 1995 as well, Irish poet Seamus Heaney received the Nobel Prize for Literature at a ceremony in Stockholm. Nobel or Nobel?
I think that's supposed to be Nobel Prize.
Yeah, because I'm seeing the B is right next to the V on the keyboard here, so I'm wondering if that's a typo.
Well, if you click on his biography, it says he won the Nobel Prize, so probably that's what's meant.
All right, and oh snap, ba-da-ba-da, pam-poovy in the housey house.
Dude, I just saw your picture.
I'll explain that after the show. There are shenanigans abound. But Alice, you just missed it. We were just talking about Jerry Garcia.
What? Oh, from Grateful Dead?
Yeah, we just talked about 1995, as Blob here read earlier. U.S. rock band The Grateful Dead broke up after the death of Jerry Garcia. He had died back on August 9th, but this is when they actually broke up. So
yeah, they finally we can't do without Jerry.
Yeah.
It's not the same without Jerry. Yeah.
Nope.
Maybe it was Alice who talked about it earlier.
I was gonna say, if anything, if we had spoken about it on the show, it probably most likely Alice would have been involved because she is the music gal as well as Lady Death. So.
Oh no, I didn't mean on the show.
Oh well, probably off the show too. So. Because I do remember speaking about it as well. I just don't remember if it was on the show, off the show, or what. But anyway, I'm going to take us up here.
He died back in August, so.
What?
Well, he died back in August. I remember, I think we did talk about his death back in August.
Yeah, August 9th.
So. Yeah, we talked about that for the show.
Yep.
We brought it up in the deaths, so.
Yep. And then 2004, Diana DeGarmo released her debut album, Blue Skies. Alright.
I have no idea who the hell that is.
No idea either. Then in 2005, we have a U.S. debut of the second part of two-part TV biopic miniseries, Pope John Paul II on CBS. I never saw that.
The first part.
I don't even remember that.
Neither do I. But Miss Alice.
Okay, let's see here. Since I did pop it, we got music history. We got in 2015 David Bowie's final public appearance at the opening of his musical Lazarus at New York Theater and Theater Workshop in New York City. I think is that what it says?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As,
The Bowie.
But
as the band, there is this band who made the song "So Long and Thanks for All the Fish." I don't remember the name now.
So long and thanks for all the fish.
They have that line, now Willy Wonka, Major Tom, Ali and Leia have moved on. So they refer David Bowie there.
it says here, So Long and Thanks for All the Fish was a book by Douglas Adams.
Yes, that's
Well, there's
what-
also a song called "So Long and Thanks for All the Fish" that was in the movie Hitchhiker's Guide for the Galaxy.
Ah.
It was
Yeah.
the last thing the Dolphins said to the human race before they left Earth.
Yeah, it's from A Perfect Circle.
yes, that's the one.
A Perfect Circle, great band.
Anyway, Alice, I saw that there was another one here in 2015 just above that. I have it highlighted for you. That's interesting.
Oh yeah, 2015 is at Beijing.
Yep.
It issues its first ever red alert for pollution.
Dang. That was
Really?
7 years ago. Wow. Huh.
For pollution, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Then, ooh.
Ooh. And then we got here. Oh, is that No, it looks like Bernie Sanders, but it's not.
That is.
Oh, it is Bernie Sanders. No, we got in 2015 Time Magazine readers named Bernie Sanders their Person of the Year.
Yeah.
Dude, did you hear that
Yeah.
Time Magazine has nominated Xi Jinping for Person of the Year?
I am not
Yeah,
surprised
and-
because...
And Zelensky, too.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not
the-
surprised. Go ahead, Blob.
Yeah, the title is for the person with the most influence over the past year, if be it good or bad. So among the winners of that was also a point.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, I'm not surprised Time did that because at one point Adolf Hitler was their Man of the Year as well. So...
And Joseph Stalin was Man of the Year twice
Oh,
during
wow.
the time he was killing his own people, too. Yeah,
Well,
don't forget that.
You know,
So I don't take much stock in Time Magazine's People of the Year.
I'm seeing a trend here that's been ongoing for almost a century, and I don't like it. Maybe people really should stop subscribing to Time because clearly they don't have real human beings' interest in heart. So,
Well, we also have another 2015 here, too. U.S. President candidate Donald Trump proposes banning all Muslims from entering the U.S. I don't think that's accurate.
I think that's a complete and total lie. That is a complete
No,
and
because
total lie.
what he did was he basically put a no-fly list for certain country, like Iran, I think.
Yes, it
Or
was.
whatever.
Yeah,
It was
And
countries.
that wasn't all Muslims because obviously there's still Muslims coming in. So this is an inaccurate news article.
Yeah. Well,
Today in history.
this source has been proven to be leftist, in nature, and this is just another example.
Yeah.
This is a complete and total 100% lie. So
It was the countries, I think, around
High risks.
one of them that had no, how do you say, where the laws were not good enough against terrorism.
yeah,
So the check
Well,
was
I think
terrorist.
he put certain traveling bans for coming in. I think with the whole Syria thing that was going on, and Iran and certain countries that were
And
holding terrorists and ISIS and everything like that. That he was keep certain
Yeah.
bans on.
Note that it was against countries. So if you have Muslims from countries that were not on that list, there was never a plan to ban those.
yeah.
No,
And
no,
that's,
they still.
and that's
yeah.
how the left bends information. They're like, oh, it's a Muslim country. He's banning Muslims. No, he's not banning Muslims. That's just
He's banning certain terrorist groups and countries that are gonna. Like he basically put like travel like things down on countries that were like support like having terrorists and stuff like that in their country.
Anyway, let's move on up to 2017. Mr. Blob, it is your turn.
Yeah, I also wanted to say if you would ban all countries, that would also mean that some foreign heads of state would be banned from entering, and you can see how ridiculous that would be.
Yeah.
All right, we have the Ballon d'Or. That translates to the Golden Ball, and that means we have soccer. Real Madrid forward Cristiano Ronaldo wins his 5th award to equal Lionel Messi's record. Second consecutive win for Ronaldo.
Nice.
So,
There you go.
I think Ronaldo, he's Portuguese.
Ooh,
The
I see.
chops.
We
He
got
went to-
some German history coming up for the German here.
Oh yeah, today in history also was Pearl Harbor.
Yeah,
just
we already
wanted
did that.
I just wanted to give some context. So Ronaldo was Portuguese, and he rose to fame when he went to Manchester United at age 18 and won a lot of prizes and titles for them. And
Nice.
And then in 2008 he won the first Ballon d'Or award, and in 2009 transferred to Real Madrid.
Oh, cool.
And
The more you know, dude.
of course that was for over. Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna read this, but
You poor thing.
in 2018, Annegret I already butchered the name, sorry. Annegret Kramp-Karrenbauer is elected the new leader of Germany's Christian Democratic Union Party, the CDU, replacing Angela Merkel.
Angela Merkel was just a disgusting person. So,
Yeah. Well, most leaders these days feel like they're disgusting people.
You forced me to read this, so don't complain.
Well played, sir. Well played.
In 2018, comedian Kevin Hart, not to be confused with comedian Kevin Soft, he steps down. He steps down as 2019 Oscars host after his history of homophobic statements is revealed.
oh my God, come on! Why are they going after Kevin Hart?
Dude, Kevin Hart's a sweetheart.
Kevin Hart's
Quite
awesome,
literally.
man. Like,
I have major respect for that guy.
dude, if I ever meet
Not to
him,
mention, I love the way he interacts with Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
oh yeah,
Yeah, he appeared in movies in the early 2000s, such as Scary Movie 3, and then became a stand-up comedian, from what I see here.
Well, he was stand-up before, and then he got into the movie business. But actually, there's a funny video I saw recently of Kevin Hart when he met Michael Jackson, and watching him lose his shit. He looked like a 3-year-old about to die from excitement. It was so cute, how when he met Michael Jackson, he lost his shit. It was so cute.
Anyway, 2019, Greta Gerwig's film adaptation of Louisa May Alcott's novel Little Woman, starring Saoirse Ronan, premiered at MoMA in New York. Alright.
Her name, the name, there's so many different ways you can say. I can't remember how you say it. Sorcy, I think is how you say her name.
Sorcy? Who?
Yeah, Sorcy, I think is how you say her name. Actually, I liked her in These Lovely Bones.
God, it's an Irish name. Nobody knows how to pronounce those.
Yeah, it's Gaelic. Whatever. Oh, God. Oh, fellow Minnesotan.
And
You can have that
2020, just 2 years ago, Bob Dylan sold his entire songwriting catalog of more than 600 songs to the Universal Music Publishing Group for over $300 million. Wow.
Jesus, he didn't keep it in the family for his family to keep royalties on it? Fair.
I don't know.
Bob Dylan's kind of a douche canoe.
I-
I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know. He kind of Bob Dylan. You know the face he's making in that picture though. He kind of looks like what's his face, the old Pun Master General guy, the comedian. What's his face?
I can't remember.
Hold on a second. Pun
Not Sam
Master
Kinison,
General. Or no, Roast Master General. Roast.
Oh,
Jeff Ross.
that one.
He kind of
Jeff Ross?
He kind of has a Jeff Ross face.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about there.
Yeah.
But also, like, Bob Dylan's such a dick. He didn't even go and accept his Nobel Peace Prize for literature.
Well, I mean, like, that's not really a dick move. I would have done the same thing because after Obama got the Nobel Peace Prize because of the color of his skin, that completely devalued everything that entire organization had. Like,
I don't know how you get to the Peace Prize. It was for literature for Bob Dylan, which makes him, by the way, the only Nobel Prize for literature recipient that I actually know the works of.
yeah. Well, whatever the case, he had a good taste in hats.
For his writing. Yeah, it was for his writings. I think he had like his partner in crime. She accepted it on behalf for him. But like, I get why he wouldn't done it at the same time. But I still thought it was kind of a dick move because if you know anything about Bob Dylan's kind of an asshole.
Yeah, well, at least he has a good taste in hats. Like, I want that hat. That's a cool looking hat. It looks very soft.
Yeah, of course.
So.
Of course you want that hat.
Yep.
Oh God.
And then I'm going to close out the main body here. In 2021, just last year, U.S. President Joe Biden warned Russian President Vladimir Putin of economic consequences if Russia continued a military buildup in Ukraine during a vital meeting. Yeah, that went over well, huh?
It's virtual, not viral.
Oh my God.
Stupid.
What was it the guy from Don't Walk Run, or he calls him the House Resident?
Dude, I'm just imagining, like, Biden being, like, that old guy on a porch, and, like, Putin's, like, the kid. He's just like, get away from my lawn, you'll be sorry. And Putin just, like, sets fire to his lawn. He's like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Huh? He's just like, ooh, the use, Like,
I was watching Louder with Crowder yesterday, and they talked about how Vladimir Putin fell down a staircase at his home and shit his pants.
oh my God.
Yeah.
It's a real thing that happened. He pooped his pants falling down the stairs. I mean,
my God.
Biden fell walking up the stairs 3 times. Putin shit his pants falling downstairs.
Well, I mean, like, not to side with Putin in any way, but if I fell down the stairs, I'd probably shit my pants, Like, I mean...
I'm falling downstairs. I've never pooped myself from falling downstairs.
Well, I don't
He must
really...
have hit his butt really hard and just like...
Well, maybe he did a barrel roll. I don't know. Like, now, like, unlike you, Alice, I'm not accident prone, so I haven't fell down the stairs enough times to like have a gauge to whether or not I'll poop myself. So, but anyway.
But I can imagine how that went. That call, like, Biden wants Putin. We will have economic consequences.
Yeah.
Haha, you threaten me, little man.
Yeah.
Our country can be described in a single word. Also Putin, how the football.
So
I come back to you when I know what that means.
Yep. Anyway, before we move on to the person desk, audience, were there any articles that grabbed your attention more than most? Anything you wish we had elaborated more about? Anything that you would have liked to add something if you had been on the show? Start a dialogue in the comments section. Anyway, let's move on into Burst. Mr. Blob, why don't you start us off in 43 BC here?
I would have one more things from the historic section.
Oh, yes.
In 1732, the Royal Opera House opens at Covent Garden in London, England.
All right.
In 1937, a Russian chess player, Alexander Alyoshin, that's how you pronounce him actually, recaptures his final world title from Dutch Grandmaster Max Euwe by a large margin. And 1960, the Ivory Coast claims independence from France.
Ooh.
And in 1999, the RIAA files a lawsuit against the Napster file-sharing client on charges of copyright infringement.
Ah.
I think that's 4 big ones that were not highlighted.
Yeah, that is interesting. Huh. All right.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going to say this one other thing. We were talking about Jupiter. It was Galileo. 1995, the U.S. space probe Galileo begins orbiting Jupiter. So that's the one that we flung into Jupiter, right? I believe Galileo.
I think you said it was Galileo.
Okay. Maybe we're talking about the same thing because Galileo was launched. Yeah. Galileo. So yeah, 1992. I had read that one, so it was the same one. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that shows you know how good my memory is. I don't even remember what I was talking about a half an hour ago. Fuck.
Galileo.
Galileo. Figaro. Anyway.
That's how you get demonetized.
Hey, I'm not a singer. That's how you get demonetized. Oh my god. Oh man. Tell us about Burst here, bro.
Alright, we go to the birthdays in 521. Saint Columba, Irish Christian missionary to Scotland, was born in Gartan, Ireland, and died in 597.
Ah.
I don't even know who she was, but
No idea.
we will look that up quickly.
It's not necessary.
Columba was an Irish abbot and missionary evangelist credited with spreading Christianity in what is today Scotland, and so on.
Okay.
So, it was actually a man. I thought by that name it was a woman.
No, Saint Columba. He was a saint. So he was not called saint. That wasn't his name. He was a saint by title.
Yeah, but I thought Columba was a female name, but it's a maiden name.
I think that's his last name, though. Ah, whatever.
Gaelic Irish missionary monk. The more you know.
Yep.
In 1598, we have Gian Lorenzo Bernini, Italian Baroque sculptor, Saint Teresa in Ecstasy, painter and architect, was born in Naples, Italy.
Ah.
He died in 1680.
So I'm looking at the sculpture here. That's an interesting, man, dude. Can you imagine, sculpting things like that? Like getting in there, knowing that, like, if you did one mistake, the whole thing is ruined. You know?
Yeah.
Now.
Not to be confused with Naples, Florida. That would be somewhere else.
I don't think anybody would confuse it with Naples, Florida. But no, I came across an interesting theory. Like somebody had dipped their hand into plaster, and it had solidified and all that stuff, and it looked just like one of the statues. So the theory is, what if all these all these marble statues, all these sculptures and everything, are actually people who were dipped in molten marble and whatnot, and then it just solidified over them. What if there's dead bodies in these sculptures? Like we found that one time that monk, the solid gold monk statue actually had a person inside of it. So, that theory might hold water. We might need to might need to use some X-rays, on these statues and sculptures and whatnot. So
there was this, I would say, minor scandal in art history a few years back, where people were fascinated by this art on the floor of some museum, and it turned out that it was actually just someone who had lost his glasses there.
Yeah, that's right. Like, I remember they set their glasses down on the floor, and then like a half hour later, there was a freaking partition put up and everything. They thought it was an art piece. So
yes.
It's like, really? Like, art has gotten so ridiculous that it's just not even believable anymore. Like, I don't know what else how else to better say it. Like, it's just gotten ridiculous, as with everything else in today's world, though. So.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about here. Theodor Schwann was born on this date here in 1810. Was a German physician, physiologist, and co-originator of cell theory, Schwann cells, pepsin, and metabolism. Born in Neuss, French Empire. Huh. That's interesting.
Well, if it helps you, I also don't know who he was, despite him being German.
Well, he was born in France, and then he was German, so that's interesting right there.
Yeah, but Neuss is actually part of Germany today.
Ah, okay.
So it is.
Huh. That's kind of funny. A section of France is currently owned by Germany. Anyway, we have Mario Soares, 1924, was the 17th president of Portugal from 1986 through 96, as well as a prime minister, 1976 through 78, and 1983 through 85, born in Lisbon, Portugal.
I'm back. Sorry.
Blam! Perfect timing. It's your turn here, 1928.
What, 1928? Oh, who we got here? We got Noam Chomsky. I like that name. It's his 94th birthday, technically, and we're in births, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so today's his birthday in 1928. He was an American linguist, founded the transformational grammar, philosopher, and political activist. Born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Yeah, what was that saying? Yeah, he founded what?
Transformational grammar. Let's see here.
Yeah, I've never even heard of that.
In linguistics... in linguistics, transformational grammar or transformational generative grammar is part of the theory of generative grammar, especially in natural languages. It considers grammar to be a system of rules that generate exactly those combination of words that from grammatical sentences in a given language, and involves the use of defined operations called transformations to produce new sentences from existing ones. The method is commonly associated with American linguist Noam Chomsky. Oh, yeah.
That explains it. Yeah, because I totally understood what that meant.
Yeah, I didn't.
I feel like an idiot right now.
Yeah. I don't understand it either. I'm gonna have to run this by a linguist, person.
Mister, you should run it by Faja.
I don't know if he would
Parental
understand.
unit, activate.
Well, no, Chomsky is...
Actually, I could call my dad and ask him, but I have to, remember my dad's now in New Zealand, so I have to wait, because it's still 3 in the morning for him right now. So...
Noam Chomsky is known as the father of modern linguistics. And he criticized also the United States foreign policy a lot of times.
Well, I will have a link for that Wikipedia in the underbar after I restart my computer and all that stuff. But anyway, Alice, you got another one here, 1932.
Oh, we got Ellen Burstyn. Bustlin? Hustlin?
I don't know.
She's an American actress, best known for The Exorcist. Alice doesn't live here, and Alice doesn't live here. She was born in Detroit, Michigan today in 1932. Happy birthday, Ellen.
Yeah, and I believe she was a little girl in The Exorcist, because I think that was the name of...
No, that's not her. Her name was something Blair.
Huh.
That played the little girl in Exorcist.
Well, then what is this? Because Exorcist, because normally if these are two different things, there would be a semicolon there, not just a comma. So that says Exorcist, Alice doesn't live here. Maybe she was the mother?
I'm assuming the mother or something, because Linda Blair played the child in The Exorcist.
Let's see here.
I think that's her name. Yeah, it was Linda Blair.
Actually, the movie is called Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore.
Oh, okay.
Alice Doesn't Live... Oh, it is a different movie.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Alice doesn't live here anymore, so 1974. Huh. Well, that's interesting. That's that's 10 years before someone I know named Alice was born. Interesting.
Yo!
So,
spaghetti-o.
What did you do to Mrs. Birthday? So she starred in a movie that says you don't live here anymore?
Well, I don't know. I've never seen the movie. I've seen The Exorcist, but I've never seen Alice Doesn't Live Here anymore.
Huh.
Yeah, by the way, she won in the 47th Academy Awards in 1975 for The Godfather Part 2.
Oh, all right.
Ah.
Well, yo, Mr. Blob, who was born on this date in 1942?
Ooh, you got a good one.
We have Alex Johnson in 1942, American baseball outfielder, Major League Baseball All-Star, AL batting champion 1970 for the California Angels. He was born in Helena, Arkansas, and he died in 2015.
Go Angels.
Aww.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember the movie Angels in the Outfield with Christopher Lloyd. And
I
think
love that
Joseph
movie.
Gordon-Levitt. Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Christopher Lloyd.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
And we continue with baseball in 1947. Johnny Bench, American Baseball Hall of Fame catcher, 14 times MLB All-Star, World Series 1975 and 1976, most valuable player. NL MVP 1970 and 1972. 10 times the Gold Glove for the Reds. He was born in Oklahoma City in Oklahoma.
Dang.
So
Oklahoma City.
yeah, it's his 75th birthday today. So
Ooh, can I take that next one?
congratulations on having done 3/4 of the century.
Yep.
Holy crap! Oh my god, I love this guy. Today, happy birthday, Mr. Tom Waits. You're 73 today. In 1949, he's an American singer-songwriter. He has, I can't even read what that says right there, but I see Blue Valentine, Jersey Girl. He was also an actor in, what does that say? Ironwood?
Ironweed.
Down by Dawn? Or Down by Law? So yeah, Ironwood and Down by Law. He was born in Pomona, California.
I know where Pomona's at.
Yeah, boy. But no, that's Tom Waits, man. Like, I've actually seen him live. He's awesome.
Huh.
As he's gotten older, that smoky, raspy voice is just gone. Whoa.
Huh. I bet.
But no, Tom Waits, happy birthday, buddy. Oh, here you go. Here's one for you, buddy.
Yeah, well, this would be great for my dad. 1956, we have Larry Bird. He is a U.S. Basketball Hall of Fame forward, coach, and executive. Got 3-time NBA championship, NBA Finals Most Valuable Player of 1984 and 86. He's 3-time NBA MVP, 12-time NBA All-Star, Boston Celtics. Born in West Baden, Indiana. All right.
Indiana.
He kind of looks like Bill Clinton a little bit in this photo. Like,
yeah, but I know who Larry Bird is. He was a very good basketball player.
Yeah.
Very good. Very talented man.
The pose he makes is like that from the one meme, you know which one.
Yeah.
And then we also have Terrell Owens, 1973, a U.S. Pro Football Hall of Fame wide receiver, 5-time first-team All-Pro, 6-time Pro Bowl, 3-time NFL receiving touchdown leader, San Francisco 49ers, and the Dallas Cowboys. Born in Alexander City, Alabama. Hey, I didn't know there was a city.
Ooh, I remember Terrell Owens. He was a good footballer too.
Yeah, he was. So, but Pam Poovey, it's your turn.
Who the hell is this guy?
I don't know.
Well, doesn't matter anyway. Well, he's an English actor, Nicholas Hoult. He was born 1989 today. He was the Favorite, and then Tolkien. Oh, and then is that Peter the Third? Peter the Great?
Yeah.
The Third?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was born in Wokingham, England. Does that say Wokingham?
Wokingham, yeah.
I'm walking here.
Well, no, like walk, like, you know, the Asian food way, like the bowl, the walk. So walking ham. So he's walking the ham. He's walking ham. He's making sweet and sour pork.
It does look familiar, but no, I remember. Yeah, from Tolkien. Yeah, so he did the movie Tolkien. Oh, shit snacks.
I thought you would walk noodles, but he walks the ham. So
well, he's making sweet and sour pork. So.
Hey, I'm sweet and sour porking here. That was a bad joke. Sorry. We also have in 1994 we have a Japanese figure skater named Yuzuru Hanyu. He's 28 today. He is an Olympic gold men's singles 2014. He also has a 1B World Championship gold in 2014 and 17. He was born in Sendai, Miyagi, Japan. Yeah. I almost said like Miyagi, but
it is Miyagi. It's Sendai Miyagi.
Also,
no, yeah. So he was born in Japan anyway.
Yeah.
Also, it was the men's singles in 2014 and 2018.
Yes.
Oh, 2018. It says 2017 right there.
No, it did Olympic gold men's singles 2014 and 2018, as well as World Championship gold 2014 and 2017. So.
You somehow.
Oh, okay. All right. That's where I was getting it mixed up.
You gotta get like a bigger screen or something.
Well,
yeah,
for some reason, this new phone really hates looking at this website through screen share.
Well,
yeah.
Also, Alice.
Instead of 18.
Yeah. Also, Alice, I have a really radical concept for you. Maybe if you don't drop your phone and crack the screen, you'll be able to see things better.
Well, my phone screen isn't cracked. This is a brand new phone.
Oh, okay.
This is a brand new phone. Apparently, this. No, I didn't. There's a small little, like, tiny China kind of tiny. I'm just kidding, not China. But no, it has a tiny little crack right in the upper corner.
You did crack your screen. I knew it.
Shut the fuck up. I didn't do it.
Yes, you did.
What happened? Lewis stepped on it.
Well, don't leave it on the floor.
I didn't.
What is he doing? Walking on the table?
No, it was on my bed and he stepped on it on the bed. It was sitting next to my pillow and he got up to get to go to work and that's when it happened. Well, it is what it is. Yeah. It's only fair. I cracked the screen to his laptop and
yeah.
For Christmas present, I'm buying him a new laptop instead of getting myself a new one. So
yay, laptop!
Well, not for me. It's gonna be for him.
Yeah, that's why I'm celebrating for him. Yay!
Because now I can actually use the TV and play my Xbox again. I've been really wanting to play Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas.
Anyway, let's move on into deaths here. Mr. Blob, you got to talk about Cicero again.
Ooh.
To say, as a chess player, in 1971, today, it was the birthday of Vladimir Akopyan, the Armenian chess grandmaster born in Baku, Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan.
Yep.
Okay, so let's start with the deaths in 43 BC. We talked about it at the beginning of the show. It was the death of the Roman statesman and philosopher Cicero. He was killed as part of the proscriptions at 63.
Jeez. What were the prescriptions? Did you guys look that up and talk about it earlier?
The prescriptions. 43 BC.
I looked up earlier that he was killed by two soldiers who were ordered to do it by Mark Antony.
Okay, so this is during the era of Mark Antony, okay. Well, this is something that, I'll put a link to the bar for what that means, and for people to look up if they want to, so.
I will.
Oh. Indubitably.
Well, then it's, then we got another one here for Blob in 1817.
Yeah, and a few days ago we had talked about the coup d'etat that was held and Cicero had
that's right.
That was in, I think, 66 BC. I don't find it right now. And in 63 BC, Cicero was elected as a consul, and
all right. Well, let's keep this moving here. We're starting to actually run out of time, so let's jump on up here.
We will put up the link to Cicero in the description.
Yes.
So in 1817, we have William Bligh, British naval officer of the HMS Bounty, which is where that famous mutiny was taking place. And he died at 63, born in 1745. 54.
Yeah. Then we have Thomas Nast.
Ooh.
We have Thomas Nast here in 1902, a German-American caricaturist and political cartoonist of the late 1800s America, died of yellow fever at the age of 62. Dang.
Yeesh.
That's a
Yellow
that's-
fever, I forgot about that
Yeah.
being around. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And then we got Rube Goldberg, 1970, a U.S. cartoonist whose cartoons inspired the Rube Goldberg Contest, Pulitzer Prize of 1948, died of cancer at the age of 87. Dang.
Damn. Well, another cartoonist died.
Yep.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, in his cartoon series, The Inventions of Professor Lucifer G. Butts, yeah, that's the name of the series.
Huh.
Oh, jeez.
He invented the Ruby Goldberg machine, which is an overcomplicated device designed to perform a simple task.
I thought you said the Whoopi Goldberg machine. I was like, what?
The Whoopi Goldberg machine. Huh.
I'm like, isn't that The View?
Oh, Ruby.
Yeah.
Ruby.
It's Rube.
Yeah, I know. It's just the way, like, my phone's being a canoe of douche. Canoe de la douche. It's being a Jacquois.
Speaking
Anyway,
of weird French people, Alice, it's your turn.
I know. We have an American playwright and writer here, Thornton Wilder. Bridge of San Luis, Ray? Does that say Ray at the end there?
Yeah,
Yes.
Bridge of San
Okay,
Luis Rey.
Yeah, he died at the age of 78 today.
What year?
We also have, he was born in 1897 and died in 1975.
Yes.
So, and then we also have a Peter Carl Goldmark. He was born in 1906, died in 1977. He was a Hungarian-American engineer. Developed the 33 1/3 RPM. Does that say RPM?
Yeah, rotations
Yes.
per minute.
Yeah, LP phonograph record format. Does I say phonograph?
Yes.
Yeah. He died in a car accident at the age of 77.
I think we reported on... Yes, that's right. He was born on December 2nd, so just 5 days ago. This is the inventor of the vinyl record.
Yeah, the vinyl record. Yeah, boy.
Yep.
Thank you, Goldmark,
Yep.
for that awesomeness. Oh, here we go.
Yep. It is Blob's
This is-
turn
this
again,
is-
I believe.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
And we
Oh, no,
have-
isn't it? No, yeah, it is your turn. Sorry.
We have a very famous actor, Harry Morgan. He lived from 1915 to 2011. And he starred in December Bride and most famously in MASH from 1975 to 1983 as Colonel Sherman Potter. And in Aftermath and in Dragnet as Bill Gannon. He died in his sleep at 96 years old.
Dang. That's...
Yeah, he was in was it the movie Dragnet with Dan Aykroyd and Tom Hanks?
Probably.
Or, because, like, I thought Dragnet was, like, a cop show in the 70s or 60s.
I
So
don't
it must
know.
have been the Dragnet movie.
I have no idea.
I think I know who he is. Yeah.
And then Blob gets one more if he wants, like, just randomly.
And I take one from 2020, which I think is interesting to our listeners. Jack Yeager, the American test pilot who was the first man to break the sound barrier, has died at 7.
Why is that not highlighted? What the
yeah.
hell?
Dude, he broke the sound barrier.
Why is that not highlighted? I'm getting pissed at
Well,
our source
you
here.
could-
I'm getting really mad, you know? Like,
What's also that? What's the last one from last year? Steve who?
Bronsky?
Oh, yeah, you better read that one, Xander.
Oh, you
the
go
last
for it.
one. I can't read it because it's
Okay.
too weird.
2021, we have Steve Bronsky, was a Scottish rock keyboard player. Bronsky beat Small Town Boy, died from smoke inhalation in a fire at his Soho flat at 61. Dang,
Oh,
that sucks.
that's unfortunate.
Yep. Anyway, that shall conclude the show. Once again, you can check the underbar of the description for any links you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. For your dose of Passive and Daily, we stream every day at 10 in the morning Pacific time.
1 p.m. Eastern
Yep. And it's
and 12 p.m. Central.
yeah, also
7
7
p.m. German time.
yeah, as Blob said. So yeah. Anyway, for your dose of past events daily, actually I already said that. For all of you and all of us, I am AO Xander.
I'm Protoblob.
And I am Who is Alice?
Yep. And until you catch us tomorrow, or I'm not entirely sure. I have to drive my dad to the airport tomorrow, so I don't know if we're going to be doing a history show or a news show or what. I haven't looked at the itinerary, so I don't know yet. So tomorrow is kind of up in the air. But anyway, until next time you see us, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!
Toodles.
Be cool, stay in school, don't do drugs.
Do all the drugs.
Drive safe.